This review investigated the impact of classroom-based interventions on primary school children's mathematical achievement that were assessed using either randomised controlled trial or quasi-experimental methods.
Randomised controlled trial studies have two important characteristics. One, an intervention group's performance is compared to a control group, and two, participants in the study are randomly assigned to these intervention or control groups. These characteristics help us to draw conclusions about the effect of an intervention and increase our confidence in the results.
In quasi-experimental studies, participants are assigned to groups, but this is not done randomly. This decreases the robust nature of the study. So, what were the main findings of this review? In total, 80 studies were included in this review.
The studies were published in the period between 2000 and 2017, and these studies were mostly conducted in the USA and Europe.
45 of these studies used randomised controlled trial design. However, although participants were randomly assigned to either an intervention or control group, many did not follow rigorous methods that are usually used in randomised controlled trials. This means that many of the studies included in this review may be biased.
We wanted to answer three main questions through this review. The first was, what types of classroom-based interventions are used with primary school-aged children who don't meet the criteria for mathematics disability? We identified a wide range of studies that focused on different topic areas in mathematics, specifically conceptual understanding, understanding of magnitudes, the knowledge of the number system, fluency with mathematics facts, and different strategy use. The studies also used a number of different types of teaching methods, such as the use of manipulatives, providing different types of feedback, using computerized environments for learning, and varying how information is delivered to pupils, for example through song or storybooks. The second question we wanted to answer was, what are the most effective classroom-based interventions for improving mathematical learning in primary school-aged children? Due to the varied nature and targets of the interventions that our review identified, we couldn't compare the studies easily to make an overall judgment. In other reviews, researchers have compared the effect size of different interventions. This number provides an indication of the size of the impact of a specific intervention. However, directly comparing the effect size of interventions of varied types, lengths, and target areas of mathematics would not allow us to make valid conclusions. Instead, we have summarised the approaches and findings of these studies, highlighting the interventions for which rigorous evidence does or does not exist. Our final question asked, what are the key characteristics of the most effective interventions for improving mathematical learning in primary school-aged children?
Nearly all of the studies that we included in our review reported at least some positive impact of the assessed intervention. Only 2 studies that we identified reported actual costs associated with the interventions. 14 studies reported that teachers or assistants would require specialist training to deliver the intervention. Many of the interventions did not require expensive equipment for delivery. In fact, teachers could easily make many of these materials. Approximately half of the studies used technology to deliver the intervention, but only a small number, 10, of these studies assessed commercially available software.
So, what do the findings of this review mean? We identified studies that assess the impact of a wide variety of interventions to support primary school children's achievement in different components of mathematics. Although evidence of improvements were observed, these studies were often of low quality, and many interventions were not based on a clear theory of the process of mathematical learning. Therefore, we suggest that teachers and policymakers make any decisions for practice or policy with caution. This review highlights that in order to provide a strong evidence base to assist teachers and policymakers in their decision making, we need further, rigorous studies assessing the effect of these and other interventions.